I'm live. Why not? Hey, what's happening? Oh, at the wrong way. There we go. What's going on, artists on the road? I'm bored, and I'm trying to get that flickering light's a ceiling fan behind me. I can't get it out of the shot. Ugh. I probably can by dropping the camera, which is probably what's going to end up happening here if I'm not careful. Just chilling, yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. That's annoying. Let me go change that light. Or not change it, but close the door. Better idea was to turn the light off. That way the fan can still run and keep things cool. What's up with me? Not much. Just hanging out here in Red Bay, Alabama at the Tiffin Service Center campground. Waiting to get some warranty work done. And so kind of a lazy Friday afternoon. Just finished lunch. Talon's laying over on the couch, enjoying the fan. Hey, Lynn, how you doing? Just got finished up work. Hello, Jean. For those of you who don't know, Jean Bainey is my favorite mother-in-law ever. It's also the only. So, Uncle Lisa, I can't ask Shelly, but I'm sure I'll get a text from her in a moment yelling at me. No, I'm just kidding. But I keep looking around like this. I did this when I was on Gary's live stream earlier today. I keep looking around like this because there's like huge Mongoose RVs driving by all the time, and they just kind of distract me. So, but this is a no agenda, just hang out live stream. Howdy, I think. Hey, what's up, Roy? Man, I'm sorry you guys had internet problems and couldn't go live. That stinks. I'm still running your playlist, Roy, and so hopefully you're getting close. Arsenal Road, where's Shelly? She is out and about. Yeah, I'm playing with a tape on my knee. I've got that's what holds my kneecap in place at the moment is that KT tape, not KT like slow momentum, but I don't know what it stands for, but it's peeling. Hey, Cindy. So I'm playing around with it. But we don't have much going on here. Again, here in not as hot as Texas, Red Bay, Alabama. And I mean, it's, let's see, what's it? 10, oops. Yeah, it's 90, a high of 93 here in Red Bay today. And which is about 15 degrees cooler than what we left in Abilene, Texas. Roy and Becky, 17 hours ago. Yeah, we're getting you there, buddy. We're getting you there. Be here before you know it. So in Texas, and again, I'm just talking pure temperatures, not heat indexes, because once you throw in the heat index, it gets even more depressing. Is I guess I can turn this back this way now that I got that fan turned off. There we go. Ooh, that light's bright. But now that we've got, like I said, almost 15 degrees cooler here. So it was like 107, 108 in Abilene last week or just a few days ago. And we were there, and 93, 94, whatever here. That's a big change. I'll take it. Air conditioners are keeping up. And I want you guys to check this out. Now that is roughing it. Hey, what's up, Slow-Mo? 104 in Nevada today, Cindy. Wow. Okay, well, hopefully, Roy, your new spot will have a better signal. I don't know if you guys can make up on the camera, but I got the oscillating fan over there on the right, and it just knocks up her fur every now and then. So she's just chilling. But yeah, I just got finished with lunch and catching up on some work. I think better off just leaving the camera right there. I'm telling while I'm talking. So I figured, and I just went ahead and set up the thumbnails for our live stream coming up on Sunday, and also on Tuesday's Tech Talk. So I was already in StreamYard playing around, so I figured I'd just jump on here and do a live for a few minutes, see what's going on. Yeah, Uncle Lisa Talon is taking a nap. She has a hard life. This morning she was laying under the table, then she was laying up front, and now she's laying there. So it's pretty difficult. She has to move from one spot to the next, to the next, to the next. But I came up with an interesting, if somebody wants it, business opportunity. Like I said, I'm here in Red Bay, Alabama, which is where the Tiffin motor coaches are built. And it's a small town, not much to do here. Pretty much Tiffin is the business in town, and everything kind of revolves around that. But the odd thing is here, there's a campground here at the service center, and that's what I'm staying at, that campground. But the odd thing is there's really nothing in walking distance of this campground. There's a very tiny pharmacy right across the street, and then there's like a storage lot, and then there's a couple of empty lots. But that's it. You actually have to drive in town, and again, the town's not that big, to hit the grocery store or get something to eat or whatever. Hey, Blaine. So it's really kind of weird, because you think with people here that needed to get their RVs worked on, that they would have stuff within walking distance, and especially with the empty lots around. If somebody built even like a little, I wouldn't want to say a Starbucks necessarily, but even I think a Starbucks here would make a mint. Because you got all these people here with these, big not overpriced, these big expensive RVs. Ours isn't one of them. And they have nothing to do if their coach is actually in the bay being worked on. They do have a small lounge here that you can hang out in while it's being worked on. But your RV will be in there, all day. And if the work's not done at the end of the day, you bring it out and you go back to your camp spot, and then you do it again the next day. So with all that said, having a place like a Starbucks or somewhere you could sit down, buy food, you know, internet access, that kind of stuff. I mean, you could make a gold mine here off of all these guys. The place is always full. I mean, and the reason it's always full isn't the build quality. Oh, hey, Jerry. Isn't the build quality of the coaches the problem? That because it's a very small campground here. I think there's like 50 spots, but they've limited it to only coaches that are a few years old. You can only get service done here if your coach is less than 10 years old, and that's because they have so many coaches. It's just a way to keep the wait times down, because it is first come, first serve. And we're going to do a video about all that stuff too. I mean, but yeah, I think it's a gold mine here that people are missing out on. And I don't know. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to buy. Reply to work email. You can just enjoy Thailand, chilling in the breeze. I can't type. All right, so that's weird. Okay. All right, sorry about that. But now we have talent up and moving. I don't have any moderators here. That's fine. Don't need any moderators. Yes, artist Talon. Hey, over to Hill and through to Angela. Talon, can't really say I'm biased because I didn't really have anything to do with her creation, because she is a beautiful dog. Yep, and she knows it when she's being talked about. I'm surprised you're posing like that, Talon. You know the camera's on you. Tiffin does make nice motorhomes. When I lived in Alabama, I was the only motorhome I knew until I got older and started the RV life. Yep. And we do love our Tiffin. Like I said, we are here to get warranty work done. And we have a long list of stuff that need to be worked on, but it's all very, very, very minor stuff. And except for the two big things, the front passenger jack doesn't retract all the way, and that just started. It's about time now. Hello. And one of the slides in the bedroom, it started making kind of a grinding noise, but I think it needs to be lubricated or something. I don't think there's anything major wrong with it. Everything else is just kind of cosmetic stuff. Well, with the exception that the black tank flush is blocked, so they need to unblock it. And it's the black tank flush. The reason it's blocked is the black tank flush is actually just a PVC connector inside the top of the black tank with a bunch of holes drilled into it. And usually what happens is the holes are so small they easily get clogged with the mineral deposits from water, from fresh water running through. So we just need to drill those holes out, and that should be fixed. Hey, James. And I don't think I missed anybody. I'm sorry if I did. So again, we're just hanging out looking at Talon right now. We were looking at me. Then when I made the call that it would be a better idea to actually look at somebody worth looking at, and that's Talon. And I don't know what meant to be RV. Uncle Lisa is no troublemaker. Yes, Uncle Lisa is a troublemaker. Come on now, you know better than that. But he's a good kind of troublemaker. He's a good guy. But so for those of you who asked, because we get this question a lot, Talon is my service dog. She is a service dog, legit trained service dog. What does she do? And does she ever get done just to be a regular dog? Well, I think this video right here is answering that question. When she doesn't have her vest on, she is doing this right here. She's just relaxing. She's just chilling. Which chilling in 95-degree weather is not an easy task. But I'm real excited about, we were planning on coming here. We've been planning on coming here. Today is actually the 1-year anniversary that we bought this RV. So today is officially the last day of our 1-year warranty. But last week I emailed Tiffin service department, and with the list of everything we had wrong, I even made a video and took some pictures. That way they could see everything that was wrong that we were documenting. And then I sent that to them asking, could we get an extension on our warranty through I actually asked through October. And I sent that like at night, so they were closed obviously. So when I woke up the next morning and I checked my email, they had already replied and said, and the reply was, we've extended your warranty through the end of the year. So they actually added 2 more months more than I wanted. And there was no back and forth. I mean, that was the entire email. It was they extended our 1-year warranty just like that. And that was one of the reasons why we chose to go with Tiffin, was because of their customer service reputation. You can't beat it. Say Artist on the Road is Talon trains for specific tasks. Yes, she is. She is to be considered a service dog. They have to be trained on. I think it's at least 2 specific tasks to help for the handler, which in this case is me. So yes, she is task trained. Yeah, and that's one of the things that makes a difference between a service dog and like a therapy dog or an emotional support animal. Now, a therapy dog or emotional support animal do not have any. I mean, those terms really aren't even recognized at a federal level. So they don't have any protection under the American with Disabilities Act. Only service dogs do. Now, some states extend some protections to, yeah, I know, casual girl. Hi. I moved the camera over to Talon, and she just looks so comfortable over there. I didn't want to mess with her, so sorry. Or maybe it's actually Talon talking. Who knows? But anyway, with Talon, with the service dog, yeah, I'm back at where I lost my track. Okay, so to be, so some states will extend some benefits to emotional support animals or service dogs in training. Hey, we got Shelly calling now. Let's see what's going on. Hey. Okay. Hang on just a minute. I'll be right back. Enjoy Talon. I'll be right back. And we're back. Shelly just had to give me a quick update on some stuff. And we had a Talon movement. So that's what's going on. Like in every country has different rules and regulations when it comes to service animals. I'm only familiar with the rules in the United States. So, and I will say one other thing too about service dogs is there's no such thing as a legal service dog registry. So if anybody ever says they have a registered service dog, be very wary because there's no such thing as a service dog registry. Now, there are companies that do service dog. That's what they do. They call them. They are a service dog registry, but they have no legal standing. So basically, all they are is you give me money, and I will. Good point. You give me money and I will send you a registration card with a number on it saying you have a registered service dog. And it's and the registration is only for, like I joke all the time about Tech Talk University being accredited through Bob's Adventure accrediting agency. Well, this will be the same as, saying that Talon is registered with Bob's service dog registry. It has no legal standing and means nothing. And so they're not legitimate. They're not illegal. They're just useless. I mean, they have no legal standing. Talon is a girl, and she has a birthday coming up in about 6 weeks. Yep. She's going to be 6 on the 28th of August. And she still looks like a puppy. But she has definitely been a huge help to us. Oh, good question. Did someone ask for paperwork to prove they're a service animal? Legally, no, because there is no paperwork. That's just it. And that's the confusing thing about a lot of people. Now, what a person can do is, and this has happened to me, and it's fine because it's perfectly legal. If you try to enter a business, or whatever, they can ask you. This is the questions they can ask. Is this a real service dog? And then they can ask, is it what tasks is it trained to perform for you? And then you have to tell them the tasks. And that's pretty much it. If they ask to see any type of registration, then they obviously have no idea what they're talking about. Seeing Eye here in New Jersey, they train Seeing Eye dogs. Yeah, that is. Hang on, I answered. Lynn, her name is Talon, Talon. like an eagle's talon. Yeah, to become a seeing eye dog that's the hardest. That's the hardest of the service dog trainings, and the reason why is because you have to. The dogs have to be. It's going to be kind of hard to say. They have to be trained to be obediently disobedient. So in other words, they have to follow the instructions of their handler unless those instructions are dangerous. Well, the problem with that is, that means the dog needs to recognize the danger and not follow the directions of the commands and get the handler to not try to follow through with it. A great example is, okay, you got a blind person walking with a dog, and down the street, and there's a huge crater in the street, pothole, whatever. Well, the individual still wants to go forward because they can't see the pothole. Well, the dog sees it, so the dog stops. But when the dog stops, what happens? The handler doesn't know why the dog stopped, so instinct is let's go. I want to go, and so the dog has to still be disobedient, even when the handler is trying to be really kind of forceful, perhaps. I mean, when I say forceful, I don't mean like kicking the dog or anything, to get them to actually move. So that's why it's so hard. And it usually takes about 2 years or more for a seeing eye dog. And there's a huge washout rate. So Uncle Lisa wants to know, do people go out and try to pet Talon when she is working? And is that okay if they do? Yes, it happens all the time. And for me, it's not okay. Her vest has 2 very large patches on it that say, do not pet. It's very clear. Here, let's take a look, shall we? So this is Talon's vest, and it says, in plain English, do not pet, on both sides. So I have had people come up to me, adults. I have had people come up to me saying, actually, why don't I do this? Let me just turn my computer around. I've had adults come up to me saying, I know I'm not allowed to pet, but I'm going to do it anyway because she's so darn cute. I mean, that's a quote. I've had people say to me. All right, John. So I want to get here. I don't want to block her view. There we go. There. Got us all in here now. So so that happens. I also get people who ask to pet, and I say, no, she's working. And then they get mad at me. I've had people yell at me because I wouldn't let them pet my service dog. What happens when you pet a dog? Well, same thing, it distracts the dog. And that's why, for me and for most people who have service animals, they don't want you to pet the dog because the dog is not working. They may miss something they're supposed to be. They may miss an alert, and so it could be bad. It could be a bad thing for the handler. A great example is okay. A lot of service dogs are trained they're for people with diabetes. So because the dog can sense if the person's blood sugar is out of whack. Well, if somebody's petting the dog misses that key that somebody's blood sugar is crashing. Well, then what's going to happen? Well, that person is probably going to, pass out. They could injure themselves on the fall down, that kind of stuff. Or somebody who has a seizure disorder Dog is not able to alert because they're distracted being petted. I mean, so petting a service animal can actually be really, really dangerous to the handler. Oh, hey, Bob. So that's one of the biggest reasons why. Oh, and Happy Place Diaries. Hi, Jerry. Are you back from vacation? And so, and the issues really come in with, there's a lot of people out there who have gone online and bought a vest for their dog. So because they want to take their dog places. They don't want to leave their dog at home, or they don't want to pay to put their dog in a kennel. So they'll go buy a service dog vest because, hey, now I can take my dog anywhere, right? Well, yeah, but I mean, technically not technically, you are literally breaking the law. Secondly, in my opinion, you have like zero moral fiber. I mean, none. It's like, and people don't realize it, but it's literally the same thing as, well, I really want to park up close, so I'm going to go buy a wheelchair and fake that I can't walk so I can get a handicap sticker so I can park up close. It's the same thing. I mean, you're faking a disability so you get some kind of benefit from it. And those are some of the lowest of the low people, I mean, to me. And to go back to, asking about Uncle Lisa's question here about petting. People come up and pet her all the time without even asking. And that just blows my mind, not only because of the patches that say do not pet, but I would never in my life go up to a dog and try to pet it without asking the owner first. Because I like I made it over 50 years with these 10 digits. I want to make it to the end with the same 10 digits. So yeah, big Disney fan. Hey, you're absolutely right. There is a big difference between service dogs and therapy dogs. And since big Disney fan is in the house, I'll say this, that we love Disney. We go to Disney all the time. And I see the most offenders of the fake service dog crowd at Disney. We have been attacked multiple times or nearly attacked by quote unquote service dogs at Disney. So luckily the dogs have never actually made it to me or Talon to actually do any physical harm. But it's happened, and a real service dog does not act like that. And a real service dog is like what you see right here. They are quiet. They're not barking, and they're just doing their job. I never tried that one. Also at the same time, when speaking of Disney, I've been at Disney and my daughter has overheard people talking and saying, "Well, he's not blind. Was he? I bet that's a fake service dog." Service dogs aren't just for blind people. They're for all. Honestly, it's amazing the things that dogs can do and help us and help people with a wider range of disabilities. And Bill, while I haven't actually said no, but you can pet me. But when I have heard people walk by and say, "Oh wow, look at how that's one," he sure is good looking, or that, or something like that. I say, "Are you talking about me or the dog?" I will say that. That was amazing. She knew when she was working, when she was off duty. Yeah. Off duty, she's a squirrel chaser. Chases the ball. Lays on the couch. But to talk about the folks that have, that find it convenient to go out and buy, because for like, $40-$50, you can go buy a nice vest and, a nice fake certificate saying a dog's a service dog, and You can walk around acting like, your dog is a legit service dog, but the dog is pulling it. Let's talk about some keys to recognizing service dogs and, well, non-service dogs. A service dog will never pull on a leash unless they're trying to get their handler out of a situation or away from a potential hazard. When I'm walking with Talon, just normally, the leash is very loose. And I mean, there's no tension in it at all. You can see sometimes it can almost be dragging the ground, and she will be right at my side. She'll be right at my left side, always. Now, if I stop, she may stop and turn around to kind of watch my back, because that's part of what she does. And she'll always be looking around, kind of surveying the territory. But it's always I'm not pulling her on the lead, and she's not pulling me. So when you see a dog in a service dog vest that's being pulled or pulling, if it's for a few minutes because they're trying to get out of a situation, then that's probably legit. But if it's a constant thing, then that's not a service dog. It's at best a therapy dog that the person doesn't want to leave at home or put in a kennel. ARV weekends. Another thing too about service dogs is I get people that come up to me all the time and say, "Oh, you're so lucky you get to have your dog with you all the time." Well, it's not luck. I 100% wish I didn't have to have a service dog. I don't know of anybody who would want to have a service dog. It's like saying you want to have a wheelchair, you want to be in crutches. I mean, nobody wants that. People just look at it and think, "Oh, his dog's with him. That's cool. He doesn't have to leave his dog at home. He can hang out with his dog." No, I have a piece of I have to carry around a living piece of medical equipment that not only do I need for me, but then I also need to care for it as well. Water, food, bathroom, etc. So, while it's, I definitely couldn't function well without her. There's a certain level of a burden to that as well that people don't understand. Do you go back and rename your lives? I do sometimes, and I probably end up will. We'll just see how it goes. Yep, that's good, Casual Girl. I agree. If you don't want to leave them home, then they need to go places where dogs are welcome, or don't have a dog at all. Yeah, and that's the way I've always felt. I mean, for a long time, when we had a dog and when it passed away, I didn't want another dog for a very sort of reason. First of all, it's really hard emotionally when they do go. And secondly, we like to go out and do things, and we couldn't, do things with the dog. So, and then, I don't want to leave the dog at home. This is not fair to the dog. It's like, I know people who have dogs and they just stay in a pen all the time, or they stay chained up in the backyard. Well, if that's all you're going to do if that's all you're going to do for your pet is just leave them in this really tight confined space all the time, then don't have a pet. Don't be greedy and selfish. Don't have a pet. Disney fan, I love, but it won't cause I overfed them. My hamster's name was Lucky. Lucky died from being overfed. I'm sorry to hear that. But I'll tell you who's the best about not messing with service dogs. Kids, little kids. And I know it's not because their parents taught them, because the kids are usually yelling at their parents to not mess with the service dog. I mean, I've heard parents say, "Oh, look at that dog over there. Let's go pet it." And the kid says, "No, that's a service dog. You're not allowed to touch." And a lot of times the kid says it really loud. So it's funny because the kid's correcting their parent. And again, this usually happens at Disney where you're around a bunch of people. So you're at Disney World, there's hundreds of people around, and you got this little 5-6-year-old kid yelling at their parent because their parents being an idiot and wanting to pet the service dog. So that's, to me, that's pretty funny. So yeah, I'm just looking at Talon. He is such a cutie. But I mean, we're full-time RVers now, or almost full-time RVers, depending on what your criteria, your threshold is. I think living in it full-time makes you a full-time RVer, regardless of what your, if you own a sticks and bricks home still or not. But a lot of RVers have small dogs or cats. Cats are a little different because you can kind of let cats be free range more so than you can most dogs. And I've seen them, like some of these RVers that have like really big dogs, multiple really big dogs in small RVs. And you know what? That's really just not fair to the dog. I mean, if you're going to keep them in a confined, again, it goes back to the confined space thing. I said it earlier. If you're just going to keep them in that confined space most of the time, except maybe take them out for a walk, that they're out maybe for a total of an hour or less per day. The rest of the time they're stuck, in a home or in a small RV or or in a kennel. Then don't have the dog. Don't be greedy. Don't be selfish. Thanks for coming up. That was great too. Yeah. Justin and Christina, hello. I got to reply to a work email again. All right. So, yeah, it's just well, I love Talon. Obviously, I wish I didn't have to have her, but I'm glad I do. If I have to have a service dog, and I do, I'm glad it's Talon. I guess is the best way to put it, because she is the best. She was all of her brothers and sisters were well, they went into training to be service dogs. I think a little less than half of them made it through the training. And now she is having a puppy dream. That's what I call them. Can you guys hear? I know you can see her. Yep, artist, I agree. Pets in their family, not property. I mean, they're living creatures. Now, granted, they may not be able to speak to you, like I'm speaking to you now, but they can certainly tell you how they feel or what's going on. I mean, they are emotional creatures. They have emotions, and they can share those emotions. Check this email. So Anybody else have any questions? Yeah, the Napa's getting intense. Yeah. I always say she's chasing squirrels. She gets like that. Oh, that's a good one. I say the same thing about living in an apartment. You should see how many huge dogs are there. Yeah, and it's just a shame, really. It is. I mean, I've seen that too, Angela. People with these really massive dogs because they want that specific breed or whatever. But you really need to buy if you're going to get a dog or any pet that's fairly high maintenance. And a cat, cat litter box, they could get exercise pretty easy. The dog needs to get out and run. And so unless you're able to get that dog out and run consistently, and consistent does not mean once or twice a week, then you need to really consider your lifestyle. Number one, consider where you live. Number two, before you purchase any type of animal, because you need, yeah, because you need to treat the animal with respect. Yeah, Talon's not a big fan of thunderstorms either. They speak, it's our responsibility to learn. Yep. It's sad people dump dogs off. It is, but you know what? In most cases, I think the dog's better off. It's kind of like the people who buy their kids rabbits for Easter. And the kid's like, oh, this is cool for about 5 minutes. And then the rabbit just sits in a little cage where it can barely turn around for the rest of its life until the parents finally decide to get rid of it, however they get rid of it. And I'll just leave it at that. But definitely, if you're going to get a pet, just make sure it's one that fits your lifestyle. I'm not a cat person, but a cat's pretty low maintenance. There we go. Got to get her back in full view. Oh. Yeah, and if you're going to get a dog, or honestly any animal, go to your local shelters first. See what's there. Hey, Philly girl. Go to your and Avenger. Hey, buddy. Go to your local shelter and get an animal there. They're cheap. Sometimes they're even free. And it's better to save a life. And here's your choices. You can go to a pet store and buy a puppy mill dog, and make the pet store owner some money and the puppy mill owner a lot of money. Or you can go to a shelter and save a life. So adopt, rescue first. Adopt, don't shop. Hey, Mr. Roboto, I like that one. Adopt, don't shop. I dig it. Yeah. The only time, we had a dog. Talon's actually my second service dog. Our first service dog, he had some kidney problems, so he didn't make it. I only had him for about a year, but the only dog that Shelly and I owned as a married couple, we bought a beagle when we first got married, but we bought it from, we bought it from the person. He wasn't a dog breeder, but he had beagles, and the his female had a litter, and he sold off the litter. So we bought a beagle, and love beagles. Beagles are one of my favorite breeds. I'm sitting here talking about dogs, and there's a woman walking towards me right now with two little dogs that are barking like incessantly. Well, one of them is. They don't have a service dog vest on, so it's all cool. But, then I wonder how often these dogs actually get out. Hocus Pocus is half beagle. That's cool. That is an awesome name, too. Oh, that rig behind me? Huge? Stand by. Yeah. He just pulled in, too, by the way, because there was a different rig there earlier, or last night, rather. This is an Allegro Bus XSP. So it's a diesel pusher. I don't know how big it is, but it looks pretty big. It's probably a good 38 feet. We have a 36-foot rig, and ours is one of the smallest here. It's one of the smallest Tiffin makes. I think they only make two models smaller. Justin, Christina, it happens every year at moving time during June, July. People abandon the dogs, often because their new place doesn't allow it. I don't understand it. Yeah, that's true. Never abandon your animal. I mean, take them to a shelter. I mean, have a little bit of decency. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. Mental note: don't work on your AC in July in Florida. Yeah, that's a good tip. That's a good tip. When I get a dog, it's for life. Absolutely. Billy Girl, what dogs are best for service dogs? We have to get one. It really depends on what you need a service dog for. Some dogs are better than others. Universally speaking, golden retriever breeds are the best service dogs, just because of their temperament and their intelligence. And Talon's an English cream golden retriever, so it's an AKC registered. It's an AKC registered breed, and she is an AKC registered dog. But so it's a variant of the golden retriever. The only difference is, obviously she's white, not yellow, and her legs are shorter, so she's shorter. Yeah, we've been there. Dog is family, yes. Nice red shirt. Absolutely, my man. Absolutely. It's Red Friday. Remember, everyone deployed. Everybody should be wearing a red shirt every Friday, especially if you got one of these guys. Wear it every Friday. Our dog. Oh, where is Shelly? She is out and about. She left Talon and I alone to our own devices, which is never a good idea. Our dog is like our kid, spoiled rotten, but listens. Yeah, Talon is definitely one of our children for sure, but she's the one that listens. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that name. Now, Talon, I know a lot of you, I think, because I got some OGs in here, got some old time epic friends in here, which is awesome. With Jessica, Christina, Avenger, and Mr. Roboto, and a couple others. You guys have been, we've been talking, for since beginning of our channel almost, and so we definitely appreciate you guys. So I know you probably heard the story before, but the organization I got Talon from What they also did was they partnered with Gold Star families. If you don't know what Gold Star family is, a Gold Star family is one who's had a family member who was in the military and was killed. And so a Gold Star mother is obviously the mother of that individual who was killed in the defense of this country. So what Patriot Rovers, the organization I got talent from, did was they partnered with Gold Star families, and the Gold Star families are the ones who actually named the dog. And so the person who was partnered with Talent, her son was a member of he was an Air Force member, but he was a security forces in a group called the Talon Quick Rapid Response Unit. So that's how she got their name. For those of you who know Daydream About Nice Things, and his doppelganger Gary Berghoff, who was Radar on MASH, one of the service dogs from this organization. His name is Radar because the person he was named after, that was his nickname, because he looked just like Radar O'Reilly too, or looked like Gary from Daydream, however you want to look at it. Good call on that, not wearing the shirt. Got my Navy sweatshirt on. It's been 50 degrees in New Hampshire. Whew. Well, it's 95 right now in Red Bay. Since you weren't here at the very beginning, Mr. Roboto, I'll give you the weather report. It is a high of 95, so we are at our high right now here in Red Bay, Alabama. And yes, sir, Jerry, we are definitely epic friends for sure. Yeah, she does. And she's probably very annoyed that we've got the camera on her this long. So are there a specific place to go for service dogs? I have no idea how to begin. Honestly, it's location dependent. And again, it rolls back to also, there's organizations out there that train and provide service animals to people for free. Excuse me. And there's a lot of organizations that'll train in service dog for you for a fee. So it really depends on why you need the service dog. Let's say you have diabetes or mobility issues or whatever. What I did was I just started Googling. I Googled, for my symptoms, service dog in North Carolina, because I was in North Carolina at the time. Excuse me. So that's what I did. So really, that's the best way to start. Talking to your doctor about it is another way because they may have some information. Unfortunately, a lot of doctors really aren't aware or don't consider service dogs as part of a treatment plan. Even for things as common, it's been very common for a very long time for service dogs for people with diabetes and seizures are two big medical issues. And they have proven, as they usually do, to be fantastic at detecting, the onset of seizures and detecting, drops in blood sugar, things like that. So, you get your pose good now? Yeah. Big Smiley. Her nickname is Smiley. But it's still, but still a lot of doctors don't understand or don't want to understand, how helpful a service dog can be. Major work in Red Bay or just some end of warranty work? Oh, that's right. You missed the beginning. Okay. Today is actually our 1 year anniversary of buying our Tiffin. So our 1 year warranty actually literally ends today. Here it is. So you also get a 1 year membership in the Tiffin Allegro club, and you get 1 year roadside assistance. And as you can see, the expiration date, maybe you can see if it'll focus or not. The expiration date is today, 16th. So, but in typical Tiffin fashion, I'd emailed them last week with some pictures and videos of the stuff we needed done. warranty work wise in here. And I emailed them that in the evening. When I woke up the next morning, I had already gotten a reply from them. I had asked them to extend our warranty out to October because of COVID and everything. And so when they replied to me, when I got up the next morning, the reply was, we've extended your warranty through the end of the year. So not only did they take care of me, they took care of me better than I asked them to take care of me, which has been the typical experience that most people have with Tiffin motor coaches. And the reason we bought Tiffin specifically. Yeah, obviously you can see I'm feeling a lot better, buddy. Thank you. Some days are better than others. It's just how it is. It was a mistake to leave windows open last night. Cool wake up, summer New Hampshire, 90 degrees tomorrow. Yeah, speaking of, we actually left the window open accidentally for 2 nights. The window over here by Talon's Head, not the one behind her, but the one like kind of straight that way. When the slides are in, we're driving down the road, we'll have that window open. That way, whoever's sitting on the couch, we can talk easy. Okay, artists. But when we stopped in Little Rock last night or night before last. We stopped in Little Rock, Arkansas, downtown RV park. Great RV park. We've stayed there before. We don't have a video on it though, but we stayed there before. Fastest internet I've ever seen in an RV park, over 100 megabyte download speeds. Right on the river, really cool scenery. It was like $30, but we forgot to close that window. So I woke up, my son's out here sleeping. And so I woke up yesterday morning. I walk out here like, man, why is it so hot? And then we realized we left that window. And then we let that window open. And then yesterday when we got here, we went out and about for a while doing some shopping, getting groceries and stuff like that. And I came back, still kind of warm in here. And I'm like, why is it still so warm in here? Yeah, we left that window open again. Hey, Chewy, how you doing? Helen is a tired doggy. Well, she, I've already been in trouble for that, Rhonda. She's already called me. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, the thing with her specifically is she's like a fireman. And my son-in-law is a fireman. He's in the Air Force. He's a firefighter in the Air Force. That's why we're in Texas visiting him. A fireman, they're all on duty for Jerry Holly. He was in here earlier. I don't think he still is. I think the way Nick, my son-in-law, the way they do it at their fire station, they're on duty for 48 hours straight. Then they're off for 72 or something like that. So they're on for 48 hours straight. So, of course, whenever a call could come in, they got to respond to that call. So that call could come in at, right now when you're wide awake, or it could come in at 3 a.m. So Talon's kind of like a firefighter. She doesn't know when the call is going to come, so she has to be ready. So she's resting. And I'm being serious. I'm not making a joke here. So she was trained to kind of rest and take it easy until that way she can be ready, because she doesn't. Hi. Because she doesn't know, okay, well, we gotta get up. I mean, we're gonna go out and, go shopping for the next 3 hours, or go sightseeing for the next 3 hours. So she's gonna have the vest on and gonna be on duty the whole time. So she doesn't know when that's gonna happen. So she is just. Yes, sorry. And who says they can't talk? So she's just being ready. She's standing by. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Avenger. No, he's actually there where he's at. I know it's at least 48 on. Is what they're doing right now. I want to say 48 and 72, and then it shifts because it's not like that continually. That's kind of a weird schedule. Now, I'm going to turn the camera around real fast. Hopefully you can see this thing. Look at that. That's a beast. Did you guys catch that? See you, Disney fan. sorry to turn the camera so quick, but that was actually pretty cool. It's kind of hard to see through the window here, but that guy had a tag axle, like 45-foot bus with a custom paint scheme that was, well, I guess you call it's patriotic. It's red, white, and blue. So, yeah, huge is an understatement for that. So, but yeah, that thing is a beast. It was parked down there, so he must be done with his service. We saw it parked down there last night. Yeah, slow momentum, nothing but money. Yeah, that thing was money. That's probably a good $450,000 coach at least. So yeah, that's big money, big money, big money. I mean, that's like, slow momentum kind of money, what that is. But you know what? Even if I could, I'll be honest with you, just to kind of switch subject a little bit. Yeah, Carpe Diem RV style. Hey, yeah, this is even if I could afford something like that thing that just went by, I wouldn't buy it. I have what I want right here. I mean, if anything, I'd buy it. They Tiffin makes a diesel version of this floor plan, and it's like 3 feet longer, so it's 38 feet, or no, it's 30. Yeah, no, it's 2 feet longer. It's 38 feet instead of 36 feet. It's 2 feet longer and has a diesel, but it's the exact same floor plan. Because I don't want some massive rig going down the road. You don't need it. I'm trying to minimize. Mr. Roboto, first time Red Bay. Any video in the works for the service I've experienced? Yes, this is our very first time in Red Bay, Alabama. Yeah, we're definitely going to do some videoing. I got to see it. Hopefully my drone works. I still haven't done a test flight on my drone since it crashed to see if it actually will still fly. So hopefully we can get that going up too. Oh, see you, Jerry. Got some editing to get due. Yeah, miss you guys too. You guys need to head east, and we'll head west and meet somewhere in the middle. But yeah, and again, I'm not begrudging anybody or trying to shame anybody who has massive large rigs. I'm just like, that's not for me, and I'm glad it's not for me because it's cheaper. It's cheaper that way for sure. Can you tour the Tiffin plant? Back in the old days, pre-COVID, yes, you certainly could. Actually, back in the old days, and I say the old days, 6-8 months ago, but a year ago. Oh, hey, Bill, I'm going to turn the camera around real fast. Nursing our travel bug. Can you see there's a forklift coming to the back of that truck? Can you see what's on that forklift getting put in the back of that truck? It's a refrigerator. Just thought that'd bring back some happy memories for you. Turn the camera back around. But yes, you can. In the pre-COVID days, you could tour the plant. Actually, in the trying to get talent good in the shot here. In the pre-COVID days, like a couple of years ago, you could actually, if you were having a rig built here, like you custom ordered it, you could. Tiffin, they still send you a build schedule, so you can see where your coach is, and it's very detailed build sheet. Like day this to day that, they're installing the cabinets. Day this to that, they're installing the couch. I mean, it's just like that. You can kind of follow along on that. But if you came in and take the tour back then, and when I say back then, like less than 2 years ago, you could actually see your coach, and they would let you actually walk and get inside of your coach as it was being built going down the line. So you could actually, and there's videos out there of people who came here, they were having their coaches built, and they were walking around in it with no walls because they were still building out everything else. So it was really, really cool how they did that. But because of COVID, the tours themselves have stopped, and because of insurance reasons, they had to stop allowing people to like go out actually into the production lines. They actually also let you stay in your coach when it was being worked on here, depending on, of course, the work. So you could just sit in your coach while it was in the bays, but they can't do that anymore either. And there's also a fence put up right across here that you can't, so you can't even go back there anymore because I think it was last year somebody got, well, there was some people here, and hey, burning up the roads. There were some people here that got upset because of something wasn't getting fixed on their coach to their expectations. So they got drunk, and the woman, and you can look this up. It's all over. It was all over the internet, and it's all over YouTube. And a woman drove her coach into and rammed her Tiffin motor coach into a service bay where they had another Tiffin motor coach in it, and destroyed both of them. And so she's in jail now, I believe. I know she was arrested and convicted, but I think she's in jail. And yeah, they were drunk as a skunk, it. And they definitely were, Keith. And the husband, I can't remember the whole story, but I think the husband tried to stop her. He was following along behind her, and I think it was a Jeep or something. But in typical Tiffin fashion, when that happened, Bob Tiffin gave the owners of the coach that got hit inside the bay, he gave them a replacement coach. Here you go. Now, they only work on coaches less than 10 years old here. So I don't know. I don't remember off the top of my head how old that coach was, if it was brand new and just getting this 1-year warranty work done or what. But she just said, well, we're giving you a new coach for your trouble. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, you could drive straight across Alabama and surprise Gary once you're done. Yeah. And Mr. Roboto, I don't think I actually answered your question because I squirreled a lot, as I usually do, as you well know. It's all minor stuff. It's all the biggest or the most major thing is the front passenger side front stabilizer jack doesn't retract fully anymore. That just started happening a few days ago. And one of the bedroom slides got some grinding noise in it, like probably just needs to get be lubricated, had service done to it or whatever. But so it's all, other than that, it's all pretty minor stuff. And I see all this stuff. I don't know what's going on about chocolate chips, but chocolate chip cookies sound good. Brown buttered bourbon chocolate chip cookies sound even better. That's one of Shelly's specialties. We do have a video on it. Go check it out. Especially if you like bourbon or that oaky, oak barrel flavor. Those cookies are amazing. I actually have some cookie dough in the fridge over here from that. So I may cook some cookies, or I just may eat the cookie dough. Who knows? Did you see a Van Lee fifth wheel here? No, honestly, I haven't watched any of your videos in a while because we've been traveling so much. I haven't watched hardly anybody's videos in a while. And for those of you who don't know, Van Lee, that's actually Tiffin, one of Bob Tiffin's sons, runs Van Lee, so it's part of the Tiffin family. So same quality and same customer service, but in fifth wheels. So if you want a Tiffin, you can get a fifth wheel, a Class C, or a Class A. I'm sorry, not a Class C, Class B, or a Class A, B, and fifth wheel. Yeah, I know. I mean, the one we have is not super expensive because it's not diesel and it's not huge. But they had I can't remember what they had, but the one they had was a good, $300,000 coach that this woman got drunk in, and yeah, Bob, they make a B, and I think it's based on it's on the Mercedes Sprinter chassis too. They're not cheap, but man, they're nice. Airstream makes one too. Airstream makes I don't know if you call it a B or a van. Oh, hey, Germany Travels. Yeah, Bob was a heck of a guy. Bob is a heck of a guy. And his son and grandson are the same. Yeah. Matter of fact, our cabinet right up here, Mr. Tiffin actually signed that for us back in January. We met him in January. And that's kind of a Tiffin thing, is to get Bob to sign one of your cabinets. So he signed one of our cabinets. Honey me, $300,000 for something you drive down the road is ridiculous. Yeah, no. I mean, I'm with you because I don't want to spend that kind of money either. But I guess it's to each his own. And there is, and here's the thing. I'll say this: there is a difference between my gas Tiffin motor coach, and I'm looking. Let's see what I think. That's a Phaeton. It's a Phaeton right next to me, or even better yet, this Allegro bus beast right here. There is a difference, and is the difference worth the money? When I say that there's a difference. Got to get rid of that so we can all see talent. There's a difference in not quality, but I guess quantity is the best way to put it. Like this bus over here has features that I don't have. I mean, besides, being the fact that it's a diesel adds a lot of money to the price of any motor, any vehicle. The price of a diesel vehicle is a lot more than a gas version of the same. And but the thing with that big diesel pusher over there, it'll have more upscale home features in it than I do. Like I have I don't know what you call these countertops. They're not plastic, they're not granite, but there's something in between. I mean, they're really nice. They're really nice countertops. But you'll get in those big rigs like that, you'll get granite countertops. Okay, well, that's money. Yeah, diesels cost more for maintenance too. Absolutely do. Yeah, money, right? All the way around. You can get Corian. There you go. Thanks, artist. You guys keep me straight. I think that's what these are, Corian countertops. So this guy over here, it has most likely it has granite countertops. It also most likely is all electric. So there's no propane at all in this coach next door. And funny enough, as I'm pointing at that one, an identical one is driving. Nope, gotta do a quick camera swap. There's the identical one going by right now. The exact same color scheme and model as the one behind me. Sorry, hope you guys didn't get too dizzy with that. But it also has heated floors, probably. My couch here and my seats is not leather. It's leatherish, pleather, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, exactly, Blaine. Somebody's got to keep me straight. And so in that coach, it'll be real leather. That coach probably has one of those select comfort beds. Now the bed in here, Tiffin actually has, it's made exclusively for Tiffin. It's a memory foam mattress. So, but they sell them. I mean, anybody can buy this mattress from Tiffin, but you can only buy it from Tiffin. But we have it's a California King in here, and it's the most comfortable mattress I think I've ever slept on in my life. It's awesome. And I think to buy the mattress was like $450 or $500 for the mattress, which isn't really bad for that mattress that big. So so that'll have a select comfort bed, so adjustable bed. So that's going to cost money. It might have marble, or a tiled shower. So it's just going to be upgraded features. Just like there's not a lot of difference between a $200,000 house and a $300 house. Except a little bit of size, and then your big difference is in your what's inside, the components of it. But I mean, the motor that runs the slides, same motor that runs these slides, so same cost. Toilet may be different. That one might have a bath and a half because it's bigger. This RV coach is like you have there. Ours is rubbing off where my back goes. You love ours where you're moving it out today. The mill-two things let down where plugs are. They're easy to show where. Yeah, that's true. But and again, I mean, if you're going to live in it, and then too, it's all about for some people, a $300 RV is not a big. A $300,000 RV is not a big deal. They live in a $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 house that they just sold, or they still have. And they make $300,000 a year. So a $300,000 motorhome isn't that big of a deal. I'm not one of those people for sure, but I like having creature comforts, but I'm not flashy, splashy, whatever. And I really don't want anything that massive. I mean, like this bus here. Let's do some investigating, shall we? This is the Allegro Bus XSP. So what is this? Let's see. Wonder how much that thing is worth, huh? Let's see. Well, as I look down at Lazy Days, oh, one of my neighbors on the other side is leaving. The cheapest new 2020 that they have, the bus, like this guy, is a MSRP of $445,000. Yeah, Arsenal Road, I know it's big. I watched it pull in. Yeah, and I watched his twin brother pull in too. So this guy right here is list price $450,000 or more. And let's see. And I'm looking at Lazy Days website. They actually have some 2021s already listed. 604. So yeah, 604. Oh, and the one that's just leaving me right here, that's actually an Allegro Bus XSP as well. I just noticed as it drove by, just a different color. So, hey, Papa Mozo. So yeah, these are cheap. Okay, burn up the roads. having disabilities, I just want something I can live in, like a tiny home, queen bed, stove, bathroom, etc. Yeah, exactly. I mean, when we were looking at an RV, we were 1 year ago. When we were looking at an RV, we weren't planning on going full time, but we were planning on doing a lot more traveling because we knew our daughter was going to be somewhere. Because, well, no, actually, we knew our daughter was going to be in Texas at that time. So we wanted something that just had more creature comforts than the Class C motorhome we had. So we I gotta throw this one up here real quick. Yeah, exactly. So we looked around and we saw this, and what are you alerting for? Oh, you heard the horn blow. But we the first one we looked at, or the first one we thought we wanted, it was still, we're talking about a Tiffin gas motor coach. Had a bath and a half and a bunkhouse. It was a bunkhouse model. Now our Class C was a bunkhouse model as well. And so we thought, well, bath and a half. Well, we have, you know, our home, our 6 home was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's always nice having the extra bathroom, right? So that's what we thought we needed and what we wanted. But as we looked at them and sat in them, we went to Lazy Days in Tampa because they have everything there, so you can go look at them. We decided, you know what? That's an extra bathroom. That's just extra work as far as something else to keep clean. It's extra stuff that could go wrong because, I mean, granted, I believe Tiffin is, I won't say the best built, but one of the best built. And it's either Tiffin or Newmar in my mind until you get up into mega money. You know, for especially for gas Class A's, Tiffin and Newmar. And I think one's just as good as the other. I know there's people out there that'll say Tiffin's the very best. There's people there that say Newmar's the very best. But in my mind, they're both on par, and it really just depends on you. I think from a customer service standpoint, nobody even comes close to Tiffin. Nobody. Because if whatever problem I have with this rig, if the people here weren't taking care of it, I could call Bob Tiffin, the owner, and if he's not busy, he will take my call. If he is busy, he will call me back. Now, you tell me any other major company where the owner will do that. And not only when he calls you back, he's not going to call you back and say, so sorry, you're out of luck. He's going to make sure it's done right. Because his name's on every one of these. And to him, his name means something. So, and that's why we bought. Phaeton is my dream coach. Yeah, Phaetons are awesome. And eventually, yeah, we've got to hit the lotto maybe twice. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they probably do. And so, you know, but again, no matter who builds the coach, and this is, I can't remember who told me this. I've heard it a million times though. An RV, doesn't matter what it is, Class A, B, C, travel trailer, fifth wheel, whatever. It's a home going through a continuous earthquake going down the road. That's what it is. So things are going to break. Things are going to come loose. People complain all the time about how RVs are poor quality and how there's always something breaking. Well, you think about it. An average earthquake lasts what? Maybe a few seconds, a minute. Okay, well, I just drove this thing 5 hours from Little Rock to here. Something like that. Yesterday. So that's 5 hours, this thing going down the road. Those of you who watched Tech Talk last Tuesday, when we were actually we were driving through Mississippi on the way to Texas. Not last Tuesday, but Tuesday before last. You know, you saw us going like this. Okay, things are going to shake loose. Things are going to break. You cannot avoid it unless you don't move it. If you move it, it's going to happen. It's life. But people don't connect those things. Usually they'll say, well, this should always work. There shouldn't be a problem with this, because I have the same thing in my house. It never has a problem. Well, your house isn't going like this for hours on end, so that's why. But a lot of people, you're talking about, some people are talking about how a lot of these people that have these, fancy motorhomes or fancy yachts, they also have fancy, they probably live in expensive homes too. And yeah, you're right. I mean, it's money. It's all about money, and and then again, so then it's also all about perspective. If somebody has, a couple of $1 million in the bank, I mean, literally in the bank, I have a couple $1 million in the bank, then a $300,000 motorhome, not a big deal. It's like, you got to take off zeros to put it in perspective. If you make $100,000 a year, then spending, $100 on something, not that big of a deal. And if you make $1 million a year, spending $1,000 isn't a big deal. But if you make $100,000 a year, that $1,000 to you is a big deal, or can be. So it's all about perspective. That's the way, and I always, because when people look at like the national debt of the United States, it's this massive number with all these zeros. So they can't, it's just so astronomically large, our national debt, that people cannot put it in perspective. You can't compute. The numbers that high just don't even register. They don't even make sense. But when you break it down, oh, good, I'm glad your upload finally processed. When you break it down into numbers that you can relate to, and there's websites that do that, you knock off all the zeros and put it in terms that you and I can relate to, under $100,000 a year type terms. Then, oh, hey, Doreen, then you understand the magnitude of it. So just give me the Prevo if I win the lot. Yeah. Prevos are nice. When we were at the Tampa RV show back in January, walked into a few Prevos, and I can't remember the other manufacturer. They were literally right across. Of course, these were all indoors. Right across the little walkway from them, they had the super duper expensive. They had the $2.5+ million RVs. And I'll be honest with you, we didn't film in any of that stuff. But those $2.5 million RVs, the build quality and the component quality didn't look any different than my RV. In some cases, they looked worse. I mean, like the bathroom sink in one of them was like that big around. I mean, it was like almost like a water fountain. It was the bathroom sink. It was ridiculous. Yeah, well, that's true. But with any of these RVs, especially, it's like a RV or boat, and in a car too. Really, if you buy them brand new, unless you get an astronomical deal on them, they're already not worth anything. I mean, compared to what you paid for them, and then the value is just going to go down exponentially. Now, right now in the RV industry, there's a shortage of RVs, and there's a ton of buyers. So it's a seller's market, just like it is, where we live in North Carolina for sticks and bricks homes. It's a seller's market. So if you have an RV you want to unload, I've heard people talking about, different RV dealers even contacting them to see if they want to sell or trade in their current RV because they need inventory. So this right now, this time might be a time where you will get, better than average or more than what it's worth value for your RV. I love my old RVs. They are paid for. I don't freak out they get damaged. Yeah, there you go. Hey, no worries. We're just hanging out here. I need to hurry up and sell my open road fifth wheel. Good point. Yeah. I guarantee you, Blaine, put it on RV Trader. Take some good pictures of it. It should go. It'll go pretty fast. I'd be shocked if it doesn't. People who can afford those high dollar rigs are probably a lot of them, yeah. But you know what? A lot of people try to live outside their means. I mean, that's why we have the debt. I can't remember the right term, but the debt society we live in. I mean, we Bill, just do a premiere. Seriously, I prefer premieres over releases, and I'll explain why in a minute. If I don't forget, if I do forget, somebody remind me. But people live with outside their means, and I've been just as guilty of that as anybody else. Where I've tried to buy a house I really couldn't and shouldn't afford, or a house I barely could afford, but I definitely didn't need, just because I had some misconceived notion of what success meant. Luckily and hopefully those days are far behind me now, and I don't have to worry about it. I worry about keeping up with the Joneses is what I mean. Look at, I love those little R-Pods, man. Those things are awesome. And I think they're really well made too, from what I've heard and what I've seen. Yeah. As someone who's been at RV shopping recently, I can tell you there's nothing out there. Nothing. And what is out there is I don't even know what that means, KT. Mean Jones in the travel. I can't keep up with him either. Probably when this is the one that was supposed to be our weekly Thursday video. Oops. Well, is there anybody that comes on at 4 o'clock Eastern today? That's in 45 minutes. If not, do it at 4 o'clock Eastern and do it in 45 minutes. Do a premiere. And we'll hang out here until your premiere, and we'll just roll. I mean, if that's what you want to do. But yeah, these and the problem is what is out there, and this kind of goes back to you, Doreen, talking about looking at the R-Pods. You're not going to get the great deal. You're just not, because unless you get real lucky, because more than likely, whatever you're looking at, so somebody else. So it's going to be like, like the housing market where we live in North Carolina. It's, people are, multiple offers, fighting over homes. It's the same in the RV industry to a large degree. And so it's a great time to sell an RV. It's a crap time to buy one. Learn a lot about RVs. Thanks. You're welcome, my friend. You are welcome. So she has the right idea as usual. Yeah, I just it's funny with the RV industry. Since RVs, like boats, are seasonal items, Because of my budget, I'm going private sale, not dealership. Honestly, that's always the best route to go. You'll get the best deal. In the same respect, if you have an RV if you want to trade up to a different or trade to a different RV, the best way to do that trade is to sell your RV privately and then go buy the RV you want. And the same goes with cars, right? You're going to get far less on a trade-in than you will on a private sale, because the dealer is not going to give you, because he can't. The dealer can't give you the same amount of money for that RV that somebody down the street would, because that's all they're going to be able to sell it for. So they're not going to give you a trade-in at, if your RV is worth $30,000, they're not going to give you $30,000 for it in a trade, because then they don't make any money off of it. Now, if they tell you they do, that's because they're playing with the numbers. They're, and again, same way it works with cars. They have the vehicle you want to buy. They know how much they have into it, and they know how much money they want to make. So they'll either lower that price down to where you'll buy it, or they'll raise the price of the trade-in. So you think you're getting a good deal on your trade-in, so you'll buy the car. But at the end of the day, you're still paying the exact same amount of money, the difference between those two vehicles. So where it comes from, whether it comes off lowering the price of what you're buying or raising the price of what you're trading in, you're still paying the same. So you're better off selling outright to somebody down the street and getting top dollar for your old RV or old car, and then taking that money and walking into the dealership or another private sale, if you can find it privately, and throwing that money at them. Yeah, buying new, usually not a good idea. And nope, dealerships don't usually have vintage rigs, that's for sure. Be lucky you get 40% of the value. Car values are going to go down as economic forecasts and the industry is affecting plants around the world. Yeah. And here's the thing, just to kind of switch gears on that too, Julia. I mean, you brought up a great point. It's funny how everything seems to be fine, economically speaking, but when some people start talking about, economic forecasts and how the economy is going to go bad, or the forecasts don't look good for so far down the road, and as soon as those reports come out, people start reacting to that now. It's like, and they start selling their stocks in the companies, so the value of the company goes down. So the company has to scramble to raise capital, and so it just creates this big avalanche effect. It's like, and it could be, the forecast could be based on faulty information or faulty assumptions. You don't know. It's a forecast. It's a prediction. It's like the weather forecast. It's like, okay, well, the weather forecast, in 6 months is going to be snow in northern Alabama. Okay, well, I take that information today and I go buy snowshoes and a jacket and I start wearing them today. That's not very smart. That's what we do as a society. When I say we, I mean the entire world. And so we end up making these predictions come true because of our actions now. But, there's a RV manufacturer in Kinawa, BC that's laid off 80%. Yeah, and a lot of RV manufacturers here in the United States have laid off a lot of people, but they're bringing them back now too, because now there's the demand. Now the funny thing is, before all the COVID stuff hit, back in January, we were at a Tiffin rally in Sarasota, Florida. We were talking to the one of the sales reps there. They had all the Tiffin models out there, so you can tour through them. So we were just talking, and this one guy said, and I can't remember the specific model, but it was one of the lower end diesels, lower end for Tiffin diesels, And he says, if you want that model, and I don't remember what it was, so let's just call it the Allegro Red. And I know that's not right, but that's what it is. So if you want that red, it usually costs $200,000. It's $200,000 MSRP. But if you offered me $500,000 for it, I couldn't sell it to you because every one of them for this model year has already been spoken for coming off the line. So Tiffin was already having a great production sales year before COVID hit. Then everybody everybody went in the tank, when everything was locked down. But as soon as things started opening back up, and they started opening up the factories here, and people started going out and buying RVs, now we're catching back up in the RV industry. So unfortunately, and I don't know if it's necessarily happened to many RV manufacturers, but unfortunately, a lot of companies couldn't survive that storm of COVID lockdown, so they're gone forever. And it was an Allegro bus. That's what my wife just texted me. I guess they're listening in. And so, in other words, it's a bus. So you can't buy any buses. But it's pretty. We got another message. So it's been a wild ride for a lot of companies, and I haven't said it lately, but I'll say it again. Please, if you're going out in your community, you're going out to eat or whatever, do your best to shop and patronize local businesses, because they're the ones who are the hardest hit and really have struggled, if they even still exist, through this whole COVID nightmare. So please go out and support your local businesses. Go to a local restaurant and purchase a meal. If you don't feel comfortable sitting inside, get it to go. Go to a local store to buy whatever it is you need from a store. Chewy tax between the border make the whole automotive industry suffer. Yeah. Gina's on at 4 Eastern. Today's Friday, right? I haven't seen any. I actually thought Gina was going to be on at 2 today. I'm looking at her page right now. I don't see any thumbnails on her page right now, but sometimes she doesn't do a thumbnail and she just goes live, so I don't know. Oh, the red, white, and blue rig just drove behind me. So Gina's on at 4 today, so that's 30 minutes, really? Okay. I played around with the schedule a little bit. I actually put it on a Google spreadsheet. And if you go to that Share the Air Facebook group, I posted it on there. And I've been trying to get up with Burning Up the Roads, and I think Meant to Be RVing was helping them too with it. To kind of switched, because I couldn't read what was being posted because my eyesight isn't that great, the screenshots that they were posting. So I just put it in a spreadsheet as best I could, best as I could read, and it's that's what I put. And so I posted it on there, so you can click on the link, and really the nice thing about that link is to the Google Sheets is it's the same link every time. I mean, I just changed it to put Gina at 4 o'clock on it because I didn't have her at 4 o'clock. So I don't know. If anybody has Gina's phone, because I don't have her cell phone, shoot her a text and see if she's live or not. Well, that sucks. How long's your video, Bill? Hey, Justin, welcome back. But I'm kind of bummed that they don't have that we can't do the tours right now because of COVID. Because one of the really cool, because they have two different tours here, actually. They have one tour, you actually see the manufacturing, and then there's another tour. They paint all the rigs down the road at a different facility a few miles away. You can go to the paint shop and see the rigs get painted, which I thought would be really cool. But can't do either, so here we are. But one thing we're going to try to do is we're going to try to check out there's a place here, one or two places here that there's a lot of people here that do custom work in these RVs, like taking out tables and things like that and putting in desks. But you can go to those places and like when they take out a booth dinette, for instance, they keep the booth dinette intact and then they try to resell it. And so I might try to hit that place up if it's actually open and allowing people in to see what kind of stuff they have, that might be interesting. We're looking at doing we're actually looking at, we have a table and chairs. We're actually looking at pulling it out and replacing it with a desk. And that's actually an option for the 2020 or 2021 model year. Shelly saw some pictures of it. And so we're seeing how much it would cost us to do. That's the weird thing, Doreen. If you go, I don't know this new Facebook. Anybody else get the new Facebook? I don't even know what they're trying to make it look like thing. If you click on, at least on a computer, I don't know how it looks on a phone. Where's it at? Since I'm not an administrator on that page, I can make a post, but it doesn't show up underneath. Oh, that's right. Yeah. You got to click on, across the top it says home, reviews, photos, about, and more. You got to click on more and then select community. And then you'll see what do they call it? You click on community and then you see public posts that share the air. And it's from June 30th. I posted it. But you click on that link and, well, shoot, I guess I can just make it easy here too. I can just share the link here. All right, here's the link that I was talking about. Yeah, Justin, I probably need to switch back too. Oh, Rebecca, hello from Fort Worth, Texas. I just drove through Fort Worth, Texas, day before yesterday. Drove from Abilene to Little Rock, day before yesterday. So welcome. So that link is what I think is all the live streams. I could be wrong. I could be wrong with date and time. Yeah, and Avenger just posted the link to the Facebook group. And I don't know. Well, if I can ever get up with burning up the roads, we can figure out. I just wanted something easy, and to me, and for me, that spreadsheet that I put together is easy. I even put links in it to the different pages, because some people's page you just can't do a search for very easily. So it's all in there. You can see when people, and I know this is outdated because I know there's a lot of folks on here that, I don't know what happened, because we haven't been, we've been so busy trying to get our house ready for sale and downsizing and everything else that we haven't been, in too many live streams. But there's a lot of folks on that list that I haven't seen do a live stream in a while, like Northwoods on Thursday, and Pause and Effect, and a few others off the top of my head. I used to do it before when it was one page showing the week. It was much easier and only one page to print. Back then, Blue Wave Odyssey, Bob was doing it. He had that schedule put together. But what I put together, you should be able to print to one page. It's wider than what he put, because I actually put the links in to the pages. So Northwoods was live last week. Okay, I know they were live on Saturday, but they were live last Thursday. Okay, I must have missed it. But I like the Google spreadsheet, and Blue Wave called me and asked me to take over that whole thing, and I told him no, because I didn't have time, and I didn't want the responsibility, and I still have neither the desire for the responsibility or the time to do it. But for my own benefit, I did it, just so some my old tired eyes could read. And but Burning Up the Roads took on the mantle. They've been doing a really good job, especially considering how many changes keep happening. With either people stopping live streaming altogether, or starting, or whatever. So, I think I'm gonna do something here. Yeah, the nice thing about this schedule too is it's it's 3 pages long, or 4 pages long, if you printed it out. But it looks like it prints out really nice. So we got that going for us. Okay, how is Talon? Well, she's good. She's doing better than most of us. So if I can ever get up with Burning Up the Roads, and get them to post the link to that spreadsheet on the Shared Air Facebook group, and then, hey, hitch up a toe, and I think I already sent them an email giving them access so they can edit that spreadsheet as well. Now, hitch up a toe, I said this earlier on Daydream's live stream, I'll say it now. You guys have got to go watch their latest video. They're finally getting out of the house, and watch him hook up his caravan. Is that what you guys call them, right? I want to make sure I use the right term. We call them trailers or campers, but his caravan to his vehicle. It was awesome. Loved it. And I also left him a suggestion for a follow-up video, so I hope he does it. So it's pretty cool here Now I'm just thinking about that video you guys put out. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. I've been live streaming for 2 hours. Wow. I haven't done that in a long time. All right, who just rolled by me here? Okay, an Allegro bus tag axle. So that's about a 43 to 45 footer just drove by. That is your $600,000 coach. Yeah. Hey, RV Weekends, got your weekend spot. Gorgeous, awesome. Probably a terrible idea. Is there a way to have a Google Doc anyone can edit? It might be a nightmare. Yeah, you can actually make the Google Doc to allow anybody to edit, but that would be a nightmare. I think just having a couple of people edit it is the best route to go. Hey, Bob's in. Bob, is Gina going live in like 30 minutes? Do you know? Because I didn't see a thumbnail for her, and everybody was saying she goes live at 4, so 4 Eastern today, so in 30 minutes. So do you know, or you can reach out to her because I don't have her number. We were just trying to figure out a time for Nurse Our Travel Bug to drop a video. That's one of the problems too with everybody doing live streams nowadays is it's kind of hard to find a good time to drop a video, especially if you're trying to do a premiere. What we've been doing, we haven't done it. Well, we didn't do it last week. What we've been doing is we went to doing a 30 to 45 minute live stream, and then do a video premiere afterwards. And I like that approach because it helps bring traffic from your live into your new video, so you get a big bump in views and watch time right when the video is dropped, and YouTube really likes to see that, so it helps to push it down the road and promote it. The Hitchhiking Bones, hey guys, how you doing? So Talon keeps moving, so I guess I need to keep moving too. There we go. And for those of you who've been with us for a while, you may remember when we first got home because of the lockdown, we did set up a Talon cam for a few days, and actually got a lot of watch time off of that, and a lot of good comments. Because I mean, look at her. I mean, what's not to love, right? But yeah, I'm really. Wait a minute here. What I got going by here now? Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, that's the smallest rig that's gone by so far, and that was a 32 SA, which is a gas version. It was a 33 foot long Tiffin gas coach. Yes, Rebecca, she is a busy bee for sure. You're talking about Talon. She's busy. Because, a lot of, especially the life of a service dog, is they've got to be prepared. So she's just thinking about scenarios. She's running through scenarios. What do I do in this situation? What do I do in that situation? That's all she's doing. It may look like she's just being lazy, sleeping on the couch, but she's actually planning out, scenarios for when things may go wrong. Oh, you found us through Riley Creative Travels and Griswold Family Vacations. Looks like you're traveling. Yes, we are actually full-time RVers, and right now we are at Red Bay, Alabama, getting some warranty work done on our Tiffin motor coach. But welcome to the journey, and obviously, Blaine and Danny are great guys, and I mentioned them earlier when I was on Daydream About Nice Things this morning about how it's been so cool seeing. I think it started with Raphael at Bizos Travel, coming into this RV community, and the RV community kind of going into the cruising community and kind of getting together because we have so much in common. I mean, the life of an RVer and a cruiser are really, the goals are kind of the same. We both want to go see and do exciting things. And I know a lot of cruisers actually also are RVers as well. But the goal is we want to go see new and exciting things. We want to experience life. And we're just choosing to experience life in an RV. Some are experiencing life, going to various assorted cruises. So a lot of things in common. The mindset's the same. The mindset is the same. It's just the execution is a little different. And that's cool. RV Weekends is, I think, the combining our communities is an amazing thing. It really, really is. And I've been, it's been such an exciting thing for me. I know, and I've said it a lot, because when I get excited about something, I talk about it a lot. But meeting up, and I'll use Raphael and Danny and Blaine as the three main examples, because they're the ones I've talked with the most. They're such great people, and everybody that I've actually met within the cruising community, they just seem like great people as well. Same in the RV community. We've been very blessed to meet a lot of great people, and I'm talking to a lot of great people right now, and nursing our travel book. Just kidding. We all love Natasha and the kids. Yeah, and oops, where'd it go? We have a lot of the same mindsets. The Mighty community as a whole is such a supportive community. Yeah, it really is. Now, did I miss one here? Yeah, there we go. That's what I do when I'm binge watching Netflix. I'm actually cleaning my basement. Yeah, exactly. Well, you got to plan a strategy. You just can't go clean the basement, because you got to do something with all the stuff that's in there. So you got to plan that strategy out. So why waste time and energy actually trying to do all that work without a strategy? You got to have the strategy first. And sometimes, binge watching Breaking Bad or something like that is how you come up with it. We're primary Disney YouTubers. We love travel and adventure. We cruise whenever possible. That's cool. Oh, yeah, the Hitchhiking Bones. Oh, yes. Now it clicks. Yes. I think it's gone now. Hold on a minute. Is that what you're talking about? Because that's what I'm talking about. Love Haunted Mansion. It's one of my favorite rides, if not my favorite ride. I'll hang that right there. Sorry, Talon. So, yeah. Unfortunately, we've been annual pass holders at Disney for years, off and on. And actually, I looked over here to the kitchen area first, but I think we just gave our we had some Haunted Mansion kitchen towels. I think we just gave those to our daughter, so we don't have those out. But I could be wrong. No, looks like I'm right. Yeah, love the Haunted Mansion. And Talon loves the Haunted Mansion. She does. She's not a big fan of the part where the dog's barking in the graveyard scene, because, it's a dog barking. Every week he's got my red shirt on. Awesome. And this shirt. If you're talking about this shirt, well, got some new folks in here. Real quick, this shirt was a fundraising effort we just concluded a few weeks ago, actually. We raised money for Vets to Vets United, which is a charity that provides service dogs to veterans who need service dogs. And we raised over $10,000 through the help of this huge cruising and RV community that we're proud to be a part of and blessed to be a part of. And man, that's some big rigs going by. And the shirt is red because today's Friday, and every Friday in the United States is Red Friday, which stands for Remember Everyone Deployed. So just a way of showing support for our troops who are deployed overseas. I've been in the Air Force for over 30 years, so obviously that's kind of where my heart is. And a lot of folks on here have this shirt as well, because they bought it as part of the fundraiser, and we appreciate all of them. And let's see, I don't think I missed anything else. But yeah, I'm a big Disney fan. We were supposed to go back in the middle of June for my daughter's 21st birthday and stay at Fort Wilderness. Love Fort Wilderness. But they were closed, so couldn't really go. Hopefully we got reservations for Fort Wilderness in November. We'll see how it goes. They extended our season passes because of COVID, so see how that goes too. Oh, hey John, how you doing? Get rid of that so we don't have any blockage of Talon's view. I mean, the sun is in her eyes and she don't care. She's just laying there sleeping. Oops. Did I miss one, or do you want to ask one? If I missed it, repeat. If you want to ask one, go for it. Okay, Gina's not on next, Bill. So if your video is ever done processing, we'll set up a premiere. Don't do an instant premiere. We'll give it like 15 minutes. We're going to Disney in November too, hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, I'm a big fan of park hopping, so I don't even know if I want to go if I can't park hop. Yeah, we need to get you guys, Roy and Becky. We need to get you guys back on the screen. Get those watch hour time clicking. You know what I mean? And for those of you who don't know, well, honestly, I see a lot of new or unfamiliar faces here. There is a lot of great folks in here. It still says processing. Okay. So if you're not, oh, hey, Posh Cats. Just hit 3,000 subs and 350 views. I think it was 350,000 views, excuse me. So congratulations again to them. I said it earlier today, and I'll keep saying it because it's an awesome accomplishment. And so anybody in here, if you're not familiar with any of these folks, go check them out because they're all good folks. I recently found out that it only counts once every 3 months when you run a channel's playlist. Can you run different playlists from the same channel and have it count? No, it's not about the playlist more. Well, I have heard, and people have said they've confirmed it, that if you run the video individually, it'll still count. So you can run the video, you can run the playlist once, and then you can run the videos in that playlist individually, and it counts as well. But that's kind of cumbersome. And we are not going unless we can park up. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we've been Disney fanatics for a long time. Does it matter if it's a different account? Now, there's where the question lies. And I've heard competing answers. And I haven't done enough research to tell you what the truth is, or if there's even a way to know the truth. But some people say it doesn't matter what account it comes from, as long as it's coming from the same IP address. And for those who don't know what IP address is, that's how computers actually communicate with each other. So it's a 4 octet, so 4 sets of numbers. So like 192.168.1.1 is usually a person's address for their router. So if it's coming from the same IP address of your router, so another on your wider, and I don't want to get too technical, on your router is assigned an IP address, and so whatever that is, that's what YouTube counts as a unique view, is from that IP address. As long as it's coming from that IP address, YouTube's not going to count it as repeated views. But that's what I've heard. But I've also heard as long as you're doing it from a different account, it doesn't matter about that IP address. And then I've also heard that it has to be a different. It can be the same IP address, but it has to be a different account. So I've heard all combinations possible. So what is the truth? I don't know, because when you watch the video, the count may go up. You may see the count go up on that video, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's registering on the monetized side. So you don't know. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. At Chunking Bones, the IP address is like your home address, but only for computers. Yep. You know what? When I used to teach networking, that's exactly what I used, and I forgot to say that. Yeah, it does track by IP address, but I don't know if I think accounts come into that play too. And here's an example: you got your smartphone. Well, if your smartphone's not connected to Wi-Fi, it'll have a different IP address. But if you have your YouTube account on your smartphone and you watch a video, does that watch time and view count because you watched it on your computer and on your phone? 2 different networks, but the same account. Does it count or not? And that's the question that who knows. Hey, a little bit crazy. So for all I'm giving all kinds of love to my UK friends today. Go check again, like I said, go check out Hitch Up and Toes video, latest video, and go over and soon Trev put out a quick thank you video for hitting 3K and 350K views. Go over and and show them some love as well. Again, both great couples. YouTube needs to have a list of rules. YouTube does have a list of rules. They just don't share it with anybody. That's the problem. They have rules. It's just that they're not sharing them. You got to figure out what the rules are. Yeah, I've had that happen too. But the thing is, it's still unsure that if it actually counted on the monetized side. And honestly, there's really no way to know. There just isn't. And well, it's the last shot you're going to get from me unless you make the video of the idea I gave you in the comment I made on your video, because I want to see that video. I asked for that video. I want to see it. I'd almost pay money for it because that would be epic. All right. Okay, this guy's twin just is driving by again. Man, that thing's a beast. Our viewers know as we hit our hours, we're getting there. But it's a matter of time. I mean, obviously we're under 100 hours, so it's just a matter of time before we hit. So I'm thankful for that, but at the same time, a good rule of thumb on how much money you'll make off YouTube ads is absolutely a good rule of thumb. But Poshcats, honestly, I appreciate you saying I'm too kind, but I mean, you guys have been with us from almost the beginning as well. We appreciate that. You're going to make about $1 per 1,000 views $1. So I think we average around 4,000 or 5,000 views per month. So using that fuzzy math, we're going to make about $5 a month. Now, Poshcat said earlier today they were making about 40 pounds. I think that's what it said, 40 pounds, which equates to around $50 US a month. But you know, they have 3,000. They have 3 times the subscribers and a whole lot more watch time than I mean, a whole lot more views than we have. Hey, Linda. So it's, yeah, Avenger. Our watch time did jump. I think we're okay. Those of you who ran our playlist, thank you, appreciate it. Question here. I uploaded it, but want to add a photo with pricing info, so I have to use editing software instead of YouTube. Correct. Yeah, I mean, I've never shot a video and edited it with YouTube, so I don't know. I know you can do some editing on YouTube with YouTube Studio, but I don't know what the limitations are or what you can do with it. But yeah, you're going to most likely need a, you know, get some sort of editing software so you can add the picture with the pricing info, or add an overlay. Like if you watch any of my or not any of them, but most of my campground review videos, I have scrolling. The information on the campground scrolls by. You know, like the number of sites, the pricing, and stuff. Like it just scrolls by. And really, all that is, I use Filmora for video editing, and that's a credits. You know, like video credits. That's what I use. So it makes it easy. Hey, Traveling Salvation. Honey, me, hurry up and get those 4,000 hours and 1,000 followers. I'll give you $1. Thanks. Now remember, if you give me $1, you really only, through a super chat, you're only giving me 60 cents. I mean, sorry, 70 cents, because YouTube is taking 30 cents. And if you do it from an Apple product using Apple Pay, then Apple gets another 30%. So your $1 only would mean 40 cents to me. So keep that in mind whenever you do any super chats to anybody. I was on a live stream a while back, and somebody gave, I think it was $500. It was ridiculous, a $500 super chat. And well, they did it with Apple, and you can see, because most of the time when you do it with Apple, that's, if you see the ones that end in 99 cents, that's, or you know, or $1.99 or 99.99. That tells you it's generally it's done with Apple Pay, so Apple's taking their cut. So they gave a $500 super chat. Well, the recipient only got 40% of that, so they got, you know, they got around what, $200 and some dollars. Not cool. I mean, Apple and YouTube are happy with it, but if you do YouTube for fun and you're capable of putting it into a comprehensive video, the money will come. Yeah, we're just doing this for fun. I mean, that was the whole point of this to begin with. I mean, but we are also now, we've kind of shifted our model a little bit, and we're raising money for small local veterans charities as we travel around the country, kind of following what Wayward Wax does. And because it's a great cause and needed cause. So the money we do earn through super chats, or people sending us PayPal tips, or subscribing to our Patreon page, or whatever, you know, that money, you know, is going to go to help support a veterans charity. And we're not here to make money. Do you have 1,000 friends to use PayPal? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 2012 actually. As of this moment. Yeah, PayPal is the way to contribute to a YouTuber if you want them to get all the money. Yeah, and it's just something to keep in mind too. And I'm not saying that because we're going to be monetized really soon, probably. I mean, because we were under 50 hours, yesterday or whatever, and just as matter whose channel kind of blew up in June. We're from about 500 to over 5,000 now. She's making about 3 to 5 UDS. I don't know. Yeah, raising $10,000 is insane. The amount of followers you have and the size of the community. Well, it wasn't just me. I mean, you look on the back of this shirt. There was 20 other channels, most much larger than ours. That they had the subscriber pull, but in all honesty, the bulk of that 10,500 and whatever dollars we raised came from the people that you and I see in these live streams every day. They did. It was you guys, and that's the humbling part to me. It really is. Oh, hey, Dreaming Out Loud, RV, I hadn't seen you in a while. And I'll never be able to thank you guys enough. I mean, I might have a Gary tear up moment here in a second. Where are the trail leads? Hey guys. And so I can never thank you guys enough for coming together and helping us raise money like you guys did, especially on the heels of raising money for Millie and raising money for Jerry Holly. And I think there was one other in there that I'm probably missing, and I apologize. So thank you guys, because you definitely saved one life. You saved a dog's life with that money. And you most likely, depending on what veteran gets paired up with that dog, you most likely saved that veteran's life. And best case scenario, you saved a veteran's life. Worst case scenario, you saved their family from a life of misery. And the veteran, you saved the veteran and their family from life of misery. So you either literally saved a person's life, or you've made their life meaningful or livable again, and you've helped their family. So neither one of those are bad things. So that's what you guys did, and I'll never be able to repay you. I'll never be able to thank you enough. And I'm just it still overwhelms me to this day thinking about that. And people have already asked, are we going to do this again? Yes, heck yeah, we're going to do it again. When? Not sure, but it'll be, and it will be a different charity, because the goal isn't to focus on one charity. The goal is to help other charities. Again, this wasn't me. It wasn't my idea. This was actually Jerry at Happy Place Diaries. He had the idea, so I was just along for the ride, for the most part. So, if you really want to show some love, go visit Happy Place Diaries and thank him, because if it wasn't for him coming up with this idea, it wouldn't have happened at all. So, Happy Place Diaries is the place you need to go to say the thank yous, and show the appreciation, because, like I said, I was just part of it. I wasn't the idea guy. It wasn't my show. I was just trying to help it move it along. But I appreciate all the nice comments here, and it's really cool that we can come together and do these things. Again, something else unexpected from the RV community. And that big beast that's the twin of this just drove by again. I'm not sure what they're doing. Might have gone out for a test drive. Oh no, that's not. Oh, that's the same color scheme, but it's not the twin. It's not a bus. That's a Phaeton. So the Phaeton went by. Yeah, I appreciate that RV weekends. Yeah. It's really just shows what we can do as a YouTube community, not a YouTube channel, not YouTube acquaintances, but as a community, as a family, and that's what I love. That's again the unexpected thing that I love the most about being part of this is being able to be with people and hang out and have a good time, get to know people, and especially as a full-time RVer, which we are either have been or will be soon, depending on your criteria. But why do you give me a look like that? You got a little ways to go. It's almost not quite time yet. It's almost your dinner time. So, thanks, Avenger, for dropping that link. But it's when you go out as a full-time RVer, one of the things that people are concerned about. Bill, are you doing the premiere? Did he leave and do a premiere? I'm not seeing it. Bill, are you here? I just got a text. Oh, no, uploading again. Okay. Yeah, Shelly just texted me. She's paying attention. Oh, that's interesting. A Tiffin Breeze went by, which is the smallest diesel that they sell. I hadn't seen one of those. So now I have, yeah, so we're going to be doing this at least annually. No problem, Avenger. Really? We're going to be doing some sort of fundraiser for somebody at least annually. Because one thing you don't want to do with fundraisers is you don't want to be in a constant fundraising mode, because nobody likes that, and you're not going to make any money. Yeah, artist, the premiere didn't work. The video never finished processing, so he's trying to re-upload it again. Hopefully it'll work this time. But are we going to sell T-shirts? Or are we going to do something different? We did talk about it a little bit when right after we gave the check. All right, honey, see ya. So we're in the early preliminary planning, conceptualizing phase of our next fundraiser. So we'll just see how that works out. And as we get closer to monetization, we're trying to figure out how all that's going to work with us and our efforts to help the veteran community as well. So we're talking to some people, trying to get some ideas, just to make sure that we're doing it I don't want to say the right way, because I'm so tired of hearing people say, make sure you do this the right way or that the right way, when a lot of times there is no right way, there's no wrong way, there's your way, and what way works best for you. So we're just talking to a few different folks to figure out what the best way is for us to go forward from a monetization standpoint, and what we're trying to accomplish, with raising money, and how we can do that the most effectively. Obviously, as we've already discussed, getting super chats with Apple Pay is not the most economical or efficient way to go at all. But we're just going to figure it out, and once we get it all figured out, we'll announce it. Obviously, we'll let you guys know. But I'm excited about what the future's holding for us on many levels. Talon, as you can see, is very excited. And so, yeah, that's got a little work email pop up. So that's kind of where we're at. It's, I wonder sometimes how would we all handle things if it wasn't for the internet right now, right? With all this, enclosed stuff. Well, full timing problems, let you know if it uploads in another couple of hours. Oh boy, I'm sorry, man. And another Phaeton just went by. Tag axle. Beast. We've got dealer tags on it. That one must have been just rolled off the factory. It might be heading out to a RV dealership near you. So if anybody wants to purchase a brand new tag axle Phaeton, it is on the way somewhere. I'm trying to get that out. Yeah, and it's weird that, I mean, we've talked about this a lot over the past few months. I talk about it every time, not to be greedy or anything, but I mean, in all seriousness, 30%, really? YouTube is going to take 30%, and then if that's not bad enough, Apple, because they exist, what's another 30%? I can kind of give YouTube a little bit of leeway because it's their platform. They're allowing you to do it for free. And if they weren't there, you weren't going to get this money anyway. But Apple, 30%? For what? What did Apple do? And I know I might offend a lot of Apple fanboys and girls out there, and I'm sorry because I'm not an Apple fan at all. But if you're going to, I mean, what value are you giving me in return for taking 30% of whatever somebody's donating to me? I mean, Visa, MasterCard, and American Express will take less than 3 or 4% as a processing fee, and you want to take 30 on top of YouTube's 30? Yeah. Hey, Willow Grow, nice to see you in here. So, yeah, do PayPal, and a lot of, I know some people have super chats turned off on their live streams for that reason. But Gary talked about it a little bit this morning on Daydream About Nice Things, and what he said was, how did he put it? Some people like to see their name pop up, on the chat when they do a super chat. They like to see their name pop up, and that's cool. And then Venmo, that's a good one too. And then and what he's doing is when people send him a PayPal tip, he runs their name down. He scrolls their name down the bottom of his live streams, so they get the credit they deserve, or the recognition they deserve for giving out. That's funny. How long is your video, Doreen? How many minutes? But honestly, if you're donating to a channel for whatever reason, whether it's because you just want to give them money because you like their content, or they're trying to raise money for this or that. I mean, you want to give you want them to have the money you're trying to give them. And PayPal, Venmo is one way, true, but PayPal, there's no fees. If you sent, Traveling Salvation, if you sent them $100 to their PayPal, to their PayPal account, they get $100. It's kind of a no-brainer. Is YouTube Live a good platform for live streaming? Yeah, it's basic because all it allows you to do is video and audio. So if you want to do anything else like the graphics I got here or bringing all that other stuff up, then you need other programs. This is StreamYard. This is what I'm using. Venmo versus PayPal. Not really overly familiar with Venmo, so I don't know a lot about it. But I know as long as you send it as a gift and pay through PayPal, you send it as a gift. There's no fees, and it goes right into the person's PayPal account. So 5 minutes raw video. All right. Well, Doreen, do you want to schedule that to premiere in 15 minutes at 4:30 Eastern? If you want, because that'll give that'll send out a notification that it's getting ready to happen, and then give people time to actually show up. So if you want to premiere it, is 4:30 Eastern okay? Well, there you go. Okay, now walking towards me is a older couple pushing a stroller with 2 little dogs in it. It is not one of those dog strollers. It is a regular stroller, but it has 2 little dogs sitting in it. It is 95 degrees outside, and then they don't even have the little shade thing up. So they're just getting pelted. Oh, you can do 4:30 under another premiere. Do you know how to set up the premiere, Doreen? You just need to schedule it for 4:30 Eastern, and then you just click the checkbox for premiere. And it kind of works like a live stream, but you have I know you've been in, excuse me, I know you've been in premieres before, so you know how that side works. But there's nothing else you need to do on your side other than set that checkbox. Had to expedite due to rain. Okay. So let's all hang out here for a few more minutes. If anybody does have any tech questions or anything else, we can hit those up, or questions about Talon as she yawns. No, don't do an instant premiere, because an instant premiere would start right now, right this instant. So just schedule it for 4:30 Eastern, and then there should be a checkbox underneath of it for that says set as premiere, I think is what it's called. Yeah, Talon, she laughs at everything. How's Talon enjoying full timing? I don't think she cares one way or the other. She's going to miss her backyard and chasing squirrels and stuff like that, and I'm going to miss watching it too. I'm watching her do that, but we're just going to do a good job of finding either RV parks that have dog parks in them, or dog parks nearby, so she can get her what I call, a lot of people call zoomies, get the zoomies out. Burning up the roads, it creates unintended consequences. Are you talking about premieres? Because I know there's some people out there that are really anti-premiere, and they've given me the reasons why, but the reasons don't really compute to me. Some people don't like doing premieres because they said it gets because you don't get comments, and you don't get as many comments in the video, so YouTube doesn't like it as much. But the real easy way to do around that is you just ask people to make a comment on the video, because the live comments don't count as far as engagement goes. The views count, the likes count, but not the live comments. So you just ask people during your premiere to please also leave a comment, below about the video, and that works pretty well. And that's why I love premieres, because you get your watch time. Your audience engagement is super high. It's usually in the 80% or higher range versus the 10 to 30% for most videos. So YouTube likes seeing that a lot more. And Burn Up the Roads, I don't know if you're here earlier. I was actually kind of talking about you and the share the air thing. We need to get together and figure out a way, because that spreadsheet I made, I think will make your life easier. We just need to figure out a way to get you to get working on that, because I want your efforts in that to be a lot easier. I know you had mentioned about how much time it takes you to do that. I would like to see that go down, so you're not spending so much time on that, and you can spend more time on other things. All right. Yep, I see, Doreen, I see your 2020 RPod 191 travel trailer tour video. So in a little while, I'm going to drop a link for that, and we're going to go over there and check that out. And if you haven't checked out, Doreen has a lot of cool vintage RV trailers that she has videos on, and I love looking at those vintage RVs, especially the restored ones, like she's been the slideshows and stuff she's put up. Those restored vintage ones, man, they are awesome. Only 54 minutes remaining. Well, maybe that'll be next Thursday's video for you, Bill. Oh my goodness. But I did add the thumbnails earlier today for our that's what it, like, why are all these RVs driving by all of a sudden? It's quitting time here at the or near quitting time here at the service center. So all the RVs are leaving the service bays and coming back to either their campsite, or if they're done, they're actually leaving. So it's like a little RV parade going by right now. But I like again, to talk about the Premiere things. I think the big thing about Premiere, the camp, it shows Premiere in 24 hours. Oh, that's right. You got it set for 7/18. Yeah, it does that. You just got to go Dorian, go in and change just change the date. I've done that before too, where I thought I was dropping a video in an hour, and then I look and I'm like, why didn't the video show up? And it wasn't in an hour. It was actually in like 25 hours, because YouTube will automatically put tomorrow's date when you schedule it almost all the time. Totally raw video. He has people talking to me. That's cool. So what? See, that's the thing about a lot of people you think their YouTube video has to look like some big professional production. Ain't none of us winning any Academy Awards for cinematography here. We're just going out and having fun and being real people. So let's go out and have fun and be real people. If somebody's talking in your video, that's fine. If somebody's, if there's, I had, great example. This happened to me last week. Somebody commented, I don't know who it was. Somebody commented on one of my videos and said something about, like, well, hopefully one day you'll be able to get something to fix that wind noise. Something like that. Kind of snarky comment. And I just replied, I said, well, thanks for watching. Yeah, as soon as we get, as soon as we get money to purchase better equipment, we will, and hopefully we'll get rid of that. And the guy replied, well, a windsock only costs $3 on Amazon. You should look at it. And I didn't reply back. I'm not going to go down that road, because the real answer to the question was, no, it's not $3 to get a windsock or a dead cat, or whatever you're going to call it. It's $400 or $500 to buy a camera with an external microphone input. Then it's another $30 to $100 to buy the microphone, and then it's $3 to buy the dead cat to go on it. So, yeah. So, it's whatever. And I think I sent you an email, Grisha. I think I sent you an email about this. So just shoot me a message, and we'll talk offline about this whole share the air thing and making your life easier. That's what we're here for. During this, a premiere is the video will start. Well, actually, the video will start 2 minutes after you scheduled it. So it's not going to start at 4:30 Eastern. It's actually going to start a 2-minute countdown at 4:30. And you'll be able to sit in the chat and talk, just like you are right now. So but the thing is, during a premiere, there's no, Lucretia, there's no emailing it to anybody. The link, you can just send that link. I think Avenger or somebody posted the link a minute ago, plus it's in the Share the Air group. You can just send that link to anybody. So there's no downloading or copying anything. You just send the link. Anybody can click on the link on their phone or on their computer and it pulls it up, which is nice. But with the premieres, even though you're the site owner, you don't have any control over it. You can't stop it. You can't pause it. You can't move it forward. The video just runs like a live stream would, and then you can just be in the chat talking. That's it. So it's pretty simple. And you'll get lots of views, because hopefully all 20 of the people viewing this right now will go over, and then you'll hopefully get even more people show up than that. So you'll get a ton of views on your video right off the bat. Yeah, Avenger just dropped the link to the spreadsheet. So, Chris, you can just email that to D. But I don't know if it's accurate. It was stuff I copied that I could read off of your last update, which I think was in June, towards the end of June, because my eyesight's not that great, so I was having trouble reading it. So I was just trying to put something together so I could read it easier. But you should have edit rights to that. You should have gotten an email inviting you to edit that page. If not, let me know. Like I said, we can talk offline. Because then all you need is that link. You need to post that link on Share the Air. That way it shows up on the main page, since it's your page. I can't do that. And then all you got to do is update that spreadsheet. You don't have to do screenshots and all this other stuff. So hopefully it'll make your life easier. It looks great on my phone. Oh, cool. Yeah. I love Google Spreadsheets. I use it for everything. So we are 2 minutes away. Bob, I am not surprised. As usual, you did a great interview, and he's a legit mega channel. So, and he brought people with him, and that's the thing. A lot of people have they've gotten much bigger YouTube channels to come on their live streams or do a collaboration video with. But if that bigger channel doesn't advertise it themselves, like say, hey, I'm going to be interviewed on Bob's Adventure, then you're not going to get that push. You're not going to, but obviously this, camping therapy, you don't need any moderators. I mean, you can have moderators if you want them, just like in a live stream, but you most likely don't need them. All right, he's going by again, guys. Look at that beast. Look at that thing. Wow, that's a Zephyr, by the way. That is the most expensive RV that Tiffin makes. I don't even know how much that bad boy cost, but it's probably in the 800,000 range. All right, it's 4:30 right now. Let's go ahead and jump on over, and we'll finish this chat up at Camping Therapy's premiere, which is going to start in about a minute and 40 seconds, something like that. Dude, guys, been on for 3 hours. It's ridiculous. Thanks for hanging out with me for 3 hours. Talon appreciates it. I appreciate it. So we love you guys as always. Hope to see you Sunday night at 8 o'clock Eastern on our big epic live stream. We got tons of stuff to talk about, lots of twists and turns, stuff that I don't even know how it happened. But we'll see you then. We love you guys.